evening, everyone, and welcome. I am Dr. Susie Joseph, founder and CEO of Project Management Learning Center and PMLC Consulting Group. And as you know, I have my very dear co-host along with me, Dr. Jimmy Goddard, CEO of Global Compass Hub. Hey, Dr. Jimmy, how are you?
Hello, how you doing? Happy holidays.
Awesome, very well. And happy holidays to you as well. And happy holidays to our audience. And happy birthday to me
Woo-hoo!
on Wednesday. But we get the party started early. So I just want to thank all of you for investing your time with us today, because in a world of constant disruption, time is our most valuable currency. Would you agree with that, Dr. Jimmy, that time is our most valuable currency that we have today?
Definitely. And the great thing I love about time, Dr. Susie, is the fact we all have the same amount of time. Every single day, we have the same amount of time. What differs us is how we spend the time from the
Absolutely.
12:00:00 a.m. to the 11:59:59 p.m. Time is really put us at an equal standing. We have to know how to manage ourselves better to
Mm,
really take advantage of time. So
yeah,
definitely.
that time management, it can be a beast sometimes, as we know, especially working in the professions that we do in project management and project management office. Time is always of the essence. And I would have to say it again that it is our most valuable currency. However, today's conversation is not about tools really or tools alone, but more focused on the people that we're talking about. So we're not going to focus so much on tools, dashboards, or frameworks, individually in this conversation today, but about the people and the heartbeat of every project management office, every transformation, and every result that truly lasts, which we know is about some of the time that we spend to actually do this. So, knowing that we're living and leading in a disrupted world where AI has accelerated, we got different economic pressures that are going on, talent fatigue as well, and constant change all around us. We're learning day by day that many organizations are still trying to solve the modern problems with outdated leadership models, right? So we want to take time to just look at how the PMO is not, just a delivery function within the organization, but now we're focused on the leadership aspects of that, knowing that the PMO is part of a leadership engine, a talent incubator, and in many organizations, it is absolutely the last line of stability during a time of disruption, such as what we're experiencing now. So, Dr. Jimmy, today we're going to explore what it really means to have our focus on leading a people first PMO, and one that cultivates the talent, that builds the resilient teams that we're talking about, one that actually thrives when the world around us feels uncertain, which we've been experiencing for these last few months within our industry and within the economy, no doubt. So let me just go ahead and start with this, that most PMO challenges are not about the methodology problems that we face today, but they're around some of the leadership problems, some of the people problems that we're facing today. And I know that you're all so well familiar with this, being that you do lots of executive workshops, as well as public speaking and keynotes and things like that around organizational leadership. So we're going to tap into some of that. On our other side, we know that we've mastered some of those frameworks, the tools, the dashboards. So we want to pull away from that just a little bit and focus in on the people and the human systems that actually delivers the work that we're looking to have done within our PMO. So a people first PMO recognizes that sustainable results actually come from supported and developed and trusted teams. So when we are focused on people that do a very good job with their delivery, and how well we lead them through this process, being in the positions that we're in project management, as well as the project management office, I believe that the question actually becomes, Dr. Jimmy, what does people first PMO leadership look like strategically?
Yeah, this is I think I truly believe this is a fundamental question that many organizations should really answer before they do anything. As a matter of fact, I think this starts from our family to go into our organizations, our society, and also even the world. And strategically, that this is moving the PMO from a compliance police function to a talent garden, if you will. You have the opportunity to bridge your technical expertise with your servant leadership heart. And the core philosophy for me, it's the matter of over process, purpose over paperwork. When you ask the question, what does people first PMO leadership look like? I believe it's way beyond anything we could think of. So when we talk about change management, we talk about people, process, and technology. For the technology, I can have any type of methodology to make it happen.
Yeah.
For the process component, I can pretty much bring any type of philosophies or any type of strategies to make it happen. I can even automate those two components, the process and the technology. When it comes to people, Dr. Susie, I recourse to what I call fasting and prayer.
Yes.
Because they are so unpredictable. And how can you deliver process and technology without the people? So the way I look at this, it's organization should focus on moving from what we call human resources to what I call human potential.
Mm.
And there we are right now, and we are about to close the year. I think everybody should take a moment to really appreciate other people that they work with. Even start with your own home, with your own the friends and families member that you have, because those habits, although you start them at home, in your friend, in your network, in your circle, you take them to the PMO. And so staying on the business components aspect of it, I would say what I have discovered, whether it is to C-suite executive trainings, onboarding, transfer from one board to another board, and from doing keynote presentation and workshops, and by also talking about certification with PMOs. What I've discovered, Dr. Susie, is traditional PMOs view people as resources to be allocated to maximizing utilization rates, call it burnout, rather than throughput, rather than value. So for me, the strategic shift has to be capacity versus capability. Instead of tracking just hours to figure out, okay, how many man hours it take to do this project, I said also add track the skills and the passions. For my team, I always tell people, I always tell my direct reports, tell me what you're passionate about. Tell me what projects you want to work on. I have a portfolio of projects. Me assigning somebody in this project, that project, it's arrogant. And I'm not even listening to my own people. Why don't I let them figure out, okay, what projects you want to work on? Now, there's this notion that they have the skill set and so on and so forth. We get down below to kind of mentorship that needs to be embedded in the methodology, meaning if somebody is strong here, they want to do something there, they cannot lead it because it's not in their strong suit. Does not mean they cannot be part of that project. So use the PMO data to match people to projects that stretch and grow them, not just fill their time. I think that's the right way to go. I think we need to focus on measurement. Measure project success not by project that comes on time and on budget, but did the team really grow? Can we bring in new technology for the team to learn more? And I believe focusing on that help the organization to grow, not only to not becomes more or less of a tactical organization, more of a strategic organization, where you have mentorship built in, where you have senior PMs. They don't just oversee junior PMs. They are responsible for shepherding them. When you put people at the center of your organization, when you put people at the center of your PMO, when you put people at the center of your strategic planning, I can guarantee you this: you set yourself up for success.
Yes. Yes. And in that, it's also remembering, there were a few things that you just said that I'm like, okay, it's not Sunday yet, it's Saturday, but I feel like all the time we in church, because it's like, oh, hallelujah. Yes, you are so right. But at the same time, I would always, kind of mention to people to remember that we bring our entire selves, into the office, into whatever it is that we're doing,
Mhm.
especially when we're delivering something to others. And in this case, we're talking about projects and project management office. So we're delivering, things to the organization or to our external clients. And I think that that was really important when you said that we have to remember and humble ourselves and remember that we're bringing people into the process. And sometimes, in bringing people into that process is dealing with, their emotional state, their mental state, things that they have going on inside and outside of the office as well. So I think that that was a very powerful statement, that you brought us back to to ground us in that reality and knowing that we're bringing our entire selves into that process. And this is where, people first leadership also really comes into. And we want to reel that in as we're talking about execution, as I just mentioned before, and using that into a segue of this, knowing that people bring their entire selves into, the workplace. We have to look at first, how we design the talent centered delivery models and what that
Mhm.
actually means, right? So, how do we assign those work based, deliverables based on individual strengths, their growth goals that you mentioned before, and capacity, and not just their availability? Because sometimes we can kind of be here, but not really be here, if you know what I mean. So, understanding their availability and, also looking at, we're talking about humans here, right? So looking at the burnout and, the workload that they're carrying. When we think about capacity, how much work can one person actually handle and do a good job with it realistically? What does our resource allocation and planning actually look like when we're, scaling up and sizing the work that we need to deliver for organizations? Another thing, that crosses my mind in all of this as well is when we talk about growth within the project management office, and especially across, coming to the execution side, people are always looking for that next level up, right? So it's like,
Mhm.
these projects and I've got this experience, and now where can I go next, right? The
Yes.
minimum, I think, it's about 2, maybe 3 years max, but people are always ready to kind of move after that 2, 3 year shift. Once they kind of get their feet wet and it's like, hey, I got a little bit of confidence, I've been talking to some people in the C-suite, the V suite, I know I can actually hold a conversation now, right? But, so when we look at that, they're ready to kind of move up the ladder. So, another part of that we have to consider when we're looking at people first in this is, do we have clear, visible career pathways inside the PMO for PMs, for the leads, for the coaches, for the strategists that are all involved in that process? And from your experience, I don't want to do like this going back and forth thing. I just want to kind of know
Oh,
if you tap into that just a little bit, there before we move into the second point of understanding the psychological safety behind that too. So, understanding that people are always looking for that next big step. And although we're talking about the execution side, what are some of your thoughts around that as they look for these potential growth opportunities for their careers as well?
yeah. So that's, oh my goodness, Dr. Susie, you have pretty much. It's such a loaded question. I mean, you have touched into so many points. The I always said I always try to communicate this to executives. It all starts with a vision.
Mm-hmm.
It all starts with a vision. And when you are building teams, you have to build teams, people from internal team. I mean, promote internally. These people, they know who you are, they know the culture, they know the environment. And with some members of my teams, they know what to bring to my attention for second opinion, and they know how to bring it. They don't just bring me something. They know they have to tell me what they want to aim at, what is the situation, and what's the plan. Therefore, I have something to go on versus start telling me about the problem. I like to tell them, show me, don't tell me.
Mm-hmm.
And this really helps. And my guidance has always been for executive leaders. You must have a vision for people to follow you. When you join a team or you're building a team internally, you bring them up externally. You can bring some good talents out there and bring them into your team. That somebody may be very talented at a particular skill set or technology does not mean they can lead within your environment. So we also have to do what I call the adaptability quotient.
Mm-hmm.
So as adaptability quotient means, like during the interview, it's like a dating system. So I'm trying to figure out what you can do, what you cannot do. So I'm dating you. So once you go to that 90 days, so the question now is, can you adapt from your previous environment to my environment? That's one. Or second, can we adapt from our old environment to a possible new environment you're creating for us to prosper? So that's where the synergy happens. So that's the first one. And the second one, as you're building the team, you have to come up with the vision. And the vision is, once they join the team, once you promote somebody, it will take about 90 days to a year for them to settle. And once they settle, the next question is, what's next for me?
Mm-hmm.
So if there's not a vision that way that will get them motivated to keep moving, they're going to leave. Now, that does not mean necessarily they leave physically, but mentally they have checked out. Because why should anybody follow you as a leader? The last I checked, nobody wants to get stuck behind a non-moving vehicle. So everybody wants leaders that moves the dial. So to your point, in terms of now what? What do I do? So I'm settled. I am good in what I do. I want the next step. And I want to highlight another component from that, Dr. Susan.
Mm-hmm.
It's the human sustainability as well. You mentioned about doing a lot, people have a lot of work, and how do they manage all the new things we're bringing to them? So, for instance, operation is already short, and now we're trying to bring something brand new on top, and we're not even adding new resources. It is killing, but some industries they don't have any options. It is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So I always like to. I'm not of this notion you have to do more with less. I think this is a statement we should pretty much eradicate from our vocabulary. However, I always want to stress the team that we have to do less and achieve more, and that's how you're strategic. And
Mm-hmm.
PMO should talk about governance that protects, that guides, rather than policing people. What does that mean? What about innovation? Bureaucracy and rigidity kill innovation and morale. The team feels sometimes they're serving the PMO versus the PMO serving them. And I advocate that leadership should serve the team. The PMO should serve the team, remove barriers. What about minimal? We talk about MVP as the minimum viable product. What about minimum viable bureaucracy? And those I'm saying that's because the PMO does have a valid role to have some bureaucracy. Otherwise, people will do things however they want. Uh, at the same time, I always ask my team, don't ask me a question, you're not going to do anything with the answer. A lot of PMOs have templates, people have to answer a lot of questions, and nobody does anything with the answer. So if it doesn't add value to the person doing the work or
Mm-hmm.
the customer receiving it, cut it out. This is how you simplify complexity. This is how you have the why. Why are we doing this? Why are you asking this question?
Mm-hmm.
And and you do those things again. There's not a silver bullet to answer your question. There's not really a silver bullet that will get you to all of this, but it is a structure you put in place to provide that psychological safety you mentioned. Create a culture where bad news travel bad news travels fast
Yes.
without punishment. High
Yes.
trust equals high speed. I was talking to a gentleman, as a matter of fact, it was last night,
Mm-hmm.
and he was talking about if you want to do things these days, you have to ask for forgiveness versus permission. And I'm
Yeah.
like, no, that's ridiculous. Leaders should create an environment where resources, staff members can bring up innovative ideas that they know they're going to receive permission to do it. And
Mm-hmm.
when you have permission to do it, you remove all the stress of you messing up, all the stress of bringing other people who may think you have permission. In reality, you do not have permission. And then you're going to ask forgiveness tomorrow. And once you have permission, if you fail, it's not on you only. Your leader gets your back. So I'm a strong proponent of two things. First, leaders create an environment for your staff to bring you no ideas, crazy ideas. I like to tell people, bring me the craziest ideas that you have, because I'm crazy, right? I believe success happens when we think outside of the box. So don't bring me anything from your village, from your box. Think, think big, think crazy. If you want to do something that you can do it yourself, keep it to yourself. I don't want to know, because that's not ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Ideas is what freaks you out. Ideas is what, it's mind shaking, stomach turning ideas that will revolutionize our environment. Those are the ideas. But I cannot tell somebody to do that without my support. So ask for support, ask for permission, because when you ask for forgiveness, it may be too expensive. That we may forgive you, but when you may not be able to stay.
This is
So
true.
that's my 2 cents.
Yeah, this is true. And you made a lot of good points. I'm like chopping at the bit, like, oh, yeah, this is a good one. But the one thing that I do want to say is that even when we're thinking about this is where we kind of bridge the gap between
Hmm.
that C suite, V suite support for those that are in that strategical space of the organization, and kind of help those that are in the project management office, the area of the actual execution of that work that's coming down the pipe, with the understanding that we do need their support, right? We do need that psychological safety to be able to go back and, highlight some of the risks that may be involved, highlight some of those perfect ideas that you were just talking about. I love the way that you said that, because it does bring a challenge to those that are, articulating, hey, I do have this idea. I want to try something new. But then it leads you back to what is the purpose? Like, what is the real solution that we're providing here? What is it that we offer, right? So when we think about how we want to treat the way that we bridge that gap, but then also how we want to treat those that are bringing forth all these ideas. Now, here's what I want to paint. Before we started going down this path, just hear me clearly for a moment. We talked about clear, visible career pathways. And I was talking about people that were in execution looking for the next move up, right? And
Hmm.
I wanted to pause there purposely to ask you that question about what does that really look like? Because knowing that in our space, we came from those places of wanting the next level up. So once you arrive there, now how do you go back and pull this together so that we close the gap there, so that people in this space of leadership now begin to really understand what these things mean when we say we need to allow the staff, allow team members, allow those that are coming up the ranks to have this safe space to express themselves or to showcase these beautiful, wonderful ideas that we have out there, right? Even the ones that are uncommon or seem a little bit uncanny.
Yeah.
Perfect,
Hmm.
right? Because it fits the day and the age that we're actually living in. If you look around, we're talking about disruption in the workplace, disruption in our industry. Well, what do you think that that means? We have to think outside the box in order for some of these things to come to pass. So when we talk about that, we're looking at what does it take for us to build this environment of psychological safety as a performance accelerator for people to be able to move ahead faster, quicker, more nimble, right? More agile. So we have to create high trust teams that will actually have that capability to be able to surface risks that may be involved a little bit earlier than later. What do we do to motivate them to become more innovative, more faster, and recover from disruption that we may be facing even more effectively as we continue to move forward? So the PMO would be the one that would actually have to set the tone by normalizing the transparency of the work that we're actually doing, right? Reporting that back up, making sure that people are on board, that they understand where we're going. But here's the catch,
Hmm.
that it does actually align with the organization's strategy and their strategic goals and objectives that they have in mind. That means that there's going to be some all-inclusive learning along the way and constructive failure, not just something that we're looking at like, hey, you did that, and we're placing, blame and pointing fingers all over the place.
Yeah.
But how did we get here? How do we build from here? What did we learn in this space? How, when we landed here, we landed because we thought we had a good plan, but obviously it didn't work out. But since we're here, it's a reason, it's a purpose that we landed here. What are we learning in this space? How then do we pick ourselves up and move forward, not just as individuals, but as a collective group? And I think that's the piece that people really need to understand. And this is why governance, those checkpoints, those touch points, when we want to come knocking at your door electronically, like, hey, do you have 5 minutes? Hey, can I ask you this question? Hey, can you take a minute? It behooves, people in those CV suite positions to let me take 5 minutes and see just what they're talking about. Now, we know that there are some people that may abuse that privilege because they feel like I talked to the C-suite of who, whatever, or I talked to this vice president and he said this and I got to answer back. That's not why we're here, though. So using that time responsibly and effectively and efficiently in the process that you're moving is because you actually need to tap into that resource. You need to get the answer. You need to understand what it is that you're doing. So when we create these spaces of psychological safety, we have to use them responsibly as well. That leads me to the intentional as well as the intelligent use of artificial intelligence and automation as we learn how to protect people throughout this process. So automation in terms of forecasting, administrative noise, so people can focus on leadership, decision making, as well as collaboration. And I know that this is your favorite space. So how are you feeling now? And what gems do you want to drop on us today when it comes down to the intelligent and intentional use of artificial intelligence in our workplace, Dr. Jimmy?
Wow. So my goodness, you are full with wisdom and I'm here sitting here listening to you talking. I'm like, I'm just hoping that people are taking those germs down, man, because you were talking earlier about the growth of folks, and if you look at the spectrum of career advancement, as a matter of fact, I had a keynote presentation to with a group not long ago, and I was sharing that with them that nobody wake up today and find themselves in a position of leadership. So everybody has a journey. It is a journey from where you are to from where you were to where you are today. And also that journey also requires for you to follow a leader that's going to make some advancement for you. And even if you don't have that kind of a leader, you have to embrace that spirit of leadership for you to move forward. However, sometimes life put us in position of leadership physically where mentally we're not ready for. Mentally, we still feel that we are this staff, and I can easily spot those finding themselves in that opportunities because they call themselves, "I'm just this, I'm just that." You're not just anything. You're full with opportunities inside of you to really bring forth your environment. So when I see people in influential leadership position, but they still believe they are mentally they're still behind, mentally they're still in the mailroom when they find themselves in the boardroom. That's what creates issues. So you don't trust yourself, you don't trust your staff, and then that you always figure out you want to cover, what we call it CYA, and then your team cannot trust you. So it is time for us to realize we are where we are. Do not complain where you are, because if you're complaining, you're telling me you're not ready to move forward. Because the challenges you're facing right now is getting you ready for the next step in your professional life. The challenges you're facing right now is part of the journey that will strengthen you for you to withstand more adversities that yet to come. Because when you think about it, leadership is all about conflict management. It's nothing else. It's you're in your position today to manage conflict, whether it is conflict of resources, conflict of time, conflict of money, and so on and so forth. So if you cannot manage conflict where you are now, you're complaining. What makes you think you're ready for career advancement for tomorrow? Because those conflicts don't get and the CEOC, the conflicts don't get any easier, Dr. Susie.
Mm-hmm.
They got harder. So when you all say you want to get promoted and you are complaining about where you are, then you're not ready. That's number one. Number two, let's get back to the question you have about AI. How will AI pretty much and what's the impact of that? This is what I call the Project Management Office 3.0 or the tech dividend.
Yes, absolutely.
dividend, right? And my experience, I don't want to talk about AI as a potential disruptor. I think by now, if you don't know that, welcome. You've been idle under the rock. It's okay. We welcome you to the table. It's about how you can leverage AI to buy back, and we said it earlier, time, because we all have 24 hours. What can I do within 24 hours? How can I allow my team, the PMO, to become a very high performing PMO, aligning projects to organizational purpose and personal meaning, leveraging AI to do the mundane things? Let me give you an example. So a problem I can think today will be PMs are drowning in administrative tasks, status reports, scheduling. They have no time for leadership or empathy. They have
Mhm.
no time for training. They have no time to go to some conferences. They have no time to network. What do? Automate everything that's mundane. Implement AI for automation for data gathering, reporting, scheduling, and reinvest that time in leadership. I believe it's Google that allowed their staff to take 4 hours every Friday. As a matter of fact, in previous organizations that I've been part, I always recommend my team to take 4 hours on Fridays. It's yours. You do whatever the heck you want.
Mhm.
Listen, if you cannot do your job within 4 days and a half, that last 4 hours, that's not going to give you much, believe me. But the 4 hours is time for you to think outside of the box, for you to take additional training, for you to learn something that you don't know about, like the AI. So it's not, I'm giving you 4 hours for you to waste. I'm giving you 4 hours for you to do, to improve yourself, to focus on yourself. And sometimes you may want to take an hour for you to decompress. I'd rather have somebody decompress, get in the weekend well, and start Monday ready, hitting the ground
Mhm.
versus carrying all those baggages, right? So I can see, not I can see, I have seen the technology advancement, how handling the project management profession, handling the project management office, for us to focus more on the art of leadership,
Mhm.
which is people, nothing more, nothing less.
That's nice. That's so true. And then, thinking about what you just said, we have to also look at the PMOs that are coming and forming over this next decade and how, rigid or technical they plan to be. I'm
Hmm.
hoping that those that focus on the human systems and how we, strategize on creating and developing our future leaders, what this will actually look like. My take on this is that building healthy people, as we look at building these resilient systems and putting these systems in place, that's what's going to help us to actually outperform every time in the industry, right? So as we're
You're
looking at this,
correct.
no longer just managing projects, we're no longer just managing, the system or the process of things. We're shaping cultures and careers and futures of those that are to come. And taking a look now, if we step back truly and take a look at it, how are we training them to kind of come up into this next space? How are we preparing our successors, really, to kind of step into these next roles? And then will these roles that we're talking about as we go on, will they even exist in the future? So what are we actually giving people here to look forward to as we think about, the change and the shift that happens, especially with AI? I'm just going to keep throwing it out there as we always do. So when we look at that, we have to learn how to now think outside the box in a different way, right? AI is here to enhance, but here it is, we still have yet another opportunity. So I'm going to just say that as PMO leaders, we're no longer just managing projects. We're no longer just, looking at skills. We're looking at how to combine all this stuff together, so that we can actually create this sustainable future that we're looking forward to, especially in our industry and project management office. So, with that being said, Dr. Jimmy, I'm going to turn it over to you for any last remarks on our topic today. As we're looking at this topic for people first PMO leadership, cultivating talent and thriving teams in a disrupted world. Any final thoughts on your side, Dr. Jimmy, for our audience?
Yes, as we are in this holiday season, um, I want to remind people Um, the reason for this season is really us human beings. And from a leadership perspective, correlating that with project management office, I would say you don't manage projects. Um, we lead people who deliver projects. The PMO, as a PMO leader, you do not manage projects. We don't manage projects. We lead people who deliver projects. And so when you take care of the people, the on time and the on budget takes care of itself. That is the essence of stewardship strategy. When you take care of the people, the time, the schedule, the budget takes care of itself. So I'll always encourage all of you to connect in the what you are doing to the why you are doing it. And it's a reminder every time you meet with your team, start every single status meeting, not with the gunshot, but with the reminder of the mission and the value of what the team is doing and the impact of what the team is doing. If they come to work every day, they just get into the grinding and things, they don't know why they are doing it. That is a huge disconnect, and that's why people quit mentally. So, Dr. Suzy, I would say connecting the what to the why, and always remember we do not manage projects, we lead people who deliver projects.
Yeah, so as we know, those are very good points. In execution, the burnout can be real, right? So we have to make sure that we take care of that. And just for those, Dr. Jimmy, that would like to reach out to you, as you all have heard in different, series that we run over the course of this year, if you or your leadership are interested in having Dr. Jimmy Goddard for organizational leadership speaking engagements or workshops, PMO certification training, keynote speaking, or executive retreats, you can reach out to him directly at Jimmy Goddard at globalcompasshub.com. You can also connect with him on LinkedIn under Dr. Jimmy Goddard as well. And you can also see some of his wonderful work and reels on YouTube at GC Hub Academy. And Dr. Jimmy, I'll just turn it over to you to give us a little bit more insight about the organizational leadership speaking engagements, your wonderful keynote speaking and executive retreats that you have run in the past. Why don't you share a little bit of that with us today before we go?
Yes, thank you so much, Dr. Suzy. It's always a pleasure to share this platform with you and also to share to the audience about what we do. If you go to our website, www.globalcompasshub.com, we have several the services that we offer, from keynote speaking. We offer keynotes whether different stages, even to your team, to conferences, and this is global, and that we do this. And that means wherever you are in the world, we will come and work with you to help your team lead with passion and purpose. We do also a lot of workshops, whether it is strategy workshops, whether it is a board transition workshops, whether setting visions and goals for you to have your team being united. We also help you with that. We also deliver PMO certifications as well in partnership with the PMOGI, Global Institute. And last but not least, something we have done in the past, we did not do it too much this year. We're going to rekindle that also next year, is we do a lot of coaching. We do one-on-one executive coaching, and we do group coaching. Part of our keynote presentation, as a matter of fact, and workshops with organizations is a follow-up with your team, with coaching with your team, so that the things that we mention on stage, they don't just fall on deaf ear. We go and follow up with you, with your team, making sure that they can apply those things in their day-to-day work situation. So check us out. We would like to partner with you. We would like to share with you not only the literature, also experience, so that together we can make our place a better place for everybody. And what about you, Dr. Suzy? I'm very excited for the new year. How are you going to execute everything you have in your to-do list, all those projects. What's your
Yes.
secret sauce?
Yes, I'm getting ready to share my secret sauce. Yes, here we go. And I'm so excited as well. So I just want to say to our audience, if today's session actually resonated with you, then I would like to invite you to check out our capability statement here for Project Management Learning Center Consulting Group. So again, if today's session actually resonated with you and you're ready to explore what a people-first AI-enabled PMO could look like within your organization, I invite you to connect with us at PMLC Consulting Group. That is www.pmlcglobal.us. We have actually crossed over, Dr. Jimmy, so no longer .com, but .us. Again, www.pmlcglobal.us, or you can reach out to us at area code 888-358-3949. That's toll free, 888-358-3949, where we offer services to design, develop, and implement your project management office. So we are so happy that we have some project management office. Let me clarify that. Implementations up under our belt, and we are ready to offer this service globally. We also offer a virtual project management office support for those of you that are interested. You can reach out to us to learn more or visit our website at www.pmlcglobal.us, where we provide not only the project management office implementations, but we do have a virtual project management office. And we also offer the project management staff augmentation and so much more. I am so, so happy for all of the services that we have put together over this past year, and we are ready to roll them out globally. We got some proven techniques and strategies that we've used, and our team is up and ready to go, and our clients are very happy with the work that we've done. And I'm so happy about that. I can't wait until we do our wrap up for 2025 and present it in 2026. So check us out. Again, www.pmlcglobal.us, or call us at 888-358-3949. Again, we are really, really wanting to share information with you about our PMO implementations, our virtual project management office or project management staff augmentation services that we offer there. And as you can see, as many more that we have. On another note, I want to also remind people that we're still having the PMP exam prep. This special is running through March 31st of 2026, and it's only for $399 per person, $399 USD. And I want to encourage you all to take advantage of this as we go. So for more information about the PMLC training services, you can reach out to us at 858-333-5568, or contact us at training@pmlearningcenter.com. We are helping people to pass the PMP exam with well, we're prepping people. I won't say, well, let me not say that. We're helping people to pass it. We're prepping you so that you can get yourself ready to pass it. You know, Dr. Jimmy, see, there we go again, because you got to make sure that you say what you're saying when you air this stuff out to people. They'll be like, well, she said she was helping us pass. No, let me
Exactly.
So we are prepping you to study to pass your PMP. So we provide the exam preparation training for you to do so. This offer goes through March 31st of 2026 for $399 USD per person. And this is for the current exam. So I want to clarify that as well, because we did get some questions about that. So this is for the current exam, as you know, and have all probably heard by now, and it is public knowledge on PMI.org's website that the new content for the PMP exam will not drop until April, and then the new exam will not drop until July of 2026. So again, we're running this special so that if you're interested to study for and take the existing exam for the PMP, you can do that with us. Join us and register today for $399 USD per person for the PMP exam prep. We're running this special through March 31st, 2026. That will be our deadline. That will be our absolute cutoff date for accepting. After that, if you register, I can already tell you now, the price is definitely going to increase, and we will be focused on the new materials for the new exam forthcoming in July of 2026. The price will be at least 3 to 4 times more than what you see on the screen. So I just want you to be prepared for that. So I behoove you to, again, take advantage of the current exam and the discounted rate that we're offering for this as we close it out in March of 2026. So I just want to stop there. And Dr. Jimmy, as we get ready to say farewell to our audience here today, we want to wish them all a happy holidays that are all wrapped up in there and welcome in the new year. So our next session, our January 10th webinar, we're going to start at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we will see everyone next year, again, January 10th, 2026 at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Dr. Jimmy, any last words for our audience before we go?
I am praying and hoping everybody is on Santa good list, that you're not on the not list. You still have some times here. I think you have about 11 days, according to what Santa put public knowledge. You cannot be good at midnight on Christmas. Expected. You have 365 days, 364 days to be good. So now, honestly, listeners, I want to say, everybody, please enjoy their holidays, regardless of religion, background, creed, and so forth. At the end of the day, with all of these festivities, it's not about drinking, it's not about misbehaving, being naughty. It's about embracing each other, enjoy the day, enjoy the time with your loved ones, with your family. Pay it forward when somebody does something good to you, because we support one another, we lift up one another, and let's enjoy the time off. Disconnect if you can. I'm trying to live by that so we can enter 2026 with our goals. And I would like to challenge everybody. Starting, let's say that will be December that will be December the 12 days before the end of the year. What would that be? That'll be 20. That'll be the 19th, right?
I believe so.
December 19 or December 18. Oh, let's go December 18. From the 12 days, take the 12 days of the month. Every single day, count down. So T minus 12. Let me get project on you. T minus 12 every day. Take one day to plan for the month for the following year. So meaning T minus 12, you're gonna plan for January. T minus 11, you're gonna plan for February. T minus, right? So come up with something that you really want to do for that particular month. That day will be dedicated for the month for next year. And by the time you get to T minus 1, that will be December. What do you want December next year to look like as a culmination of what you've accomplished for the whole year? So
I really, really like that. We've been knee deep in strategy and building out roadmaps for 2026. And I think my team and I are like up to here with that. But if we had to take this approach and just waited the 12 days and did the countdown and thought about every month, we may have gotten there a little bit faster, right? But I love what you're saying here. So
keep it simple. Keep it simple. Now, happy holidays, everybody. Happy New Year. Be nice. Dr. Susie, I want to extend my gratitude to you. We birthed this idea mid-year this year, and it has been such a blessing to partner with you on this journey. And I wish you all the best life has to offer for now and forevermore. Looking forward to continue working with you in 2026. Take our webinar here to the next level and bless all of our listeners.
Thank you, Dr. Jimmy. God bless you. And you already know that the feeling is mutual there. It has been an absolute joy, an honor, and a privilege to work alongside you since May of this year as well. And I look forward to all the great things that we're going to be bringing to our audience in 2026. You have been a powerhouse in this, especially with all the knowledge that you brought to us with your AI, the leadership, all of the project management office. And we're just honored to have you on our platform alongside us, co-hosting this program. So we absolutely thank you for all that you do and all that you have done. And we look forward to all that you're going to do in 2026. So here's to PMLC Global Nexus for 2026. We thank you all for your leadership and thank you for putting people first. Take care, everyone.